Donald Trump has always been known for his larger-than-life personality, his bold statements, and of course, his signature look. The bright orange-toned tan, the unusual hair, and the heavy foundation have become just as much a part of his brand as his skyscrapers and political rallies. But while Trump has tried to maintain that polished, camera-ready appearance, not every attempt has gone smoothly. In fact, some of his most public appearances have turned into unforgettable makeup mishaps that people still talk about years later. One of the most notorious examples came during a White House press briefing in 2020. As cameras zoomed in under the harsh lighting, people couldn't help but notice the distinct contrast between his face and the rest of his body. His cheeks were a deep, artificial orange, while the area around his eyes remained ghostly pale. The result was something that looked less like a healthy tan and more like someone had painted his face with two different shades of makeup. The press dubbed it the reverse raccoon effect, and memes spread like wildfire across social media. But this wasn't a one-time blunder. Trump's makeup routine has produced a series of odd, sometimes shocking results over the years. Take, for instance, his 2016 campaign rallies. Under the hot stage lights, his foundation often appeared caked on and uneven. During one event in Iowa, a close-up photo captured streaks of powder clinging awkwardly to the sides of his nose and mouth. It gave the impression that he had rushed through his routine, slapping on makeup without blending. For someone who prides himself on presentation, it was a noticeable fail that fans and critics alike couldn't ignore. Even international trips didn't spare him from makeup mishaps. During his visit to the United Kingdom in 2019, Trump was photographed alongside Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace. While the Queen looked as flawless as ever, Trump's face told another story. Under the crisp daylight of London, his orange complexion looked exaggerated, with clear makeup lines visible along his jaw. The contrast between his neck and face was so stark that tabloids quickly ran side-by-side comparisons. For many, the photos highlighted how his carefully crafted image could completely unravel in the wrong lighting. Then came the infamous helicopter photo in 2020. As Trump walked across the White House lawn towards Marine One, strong winds swept across his face and exposed something shocking. A distinct line of orange foundation abruptly stopped at the edge of his jawline, revealing pale skin beneath. The photo was shared endlessly online, with people joking about his spray tan border wall. It became one of the most discussed makeup fails of his presidency, not only because it looked bad but because it showed how dependent his image was on cosmetics. Trump's love for bold makeup choices also backfired during the 2015 Republican debates. On stage, the heavy layers of foundation mixed with sweat under the intense TV lights, creating a shiny, almost melting effect. Viewers noticed how his makeup seemed to be sliding down his face as the debate wore on. Instead of appearing confident and put together, he looked uncomfortable and overdone. It was a classic example of how too much makeup, especially under stage conditions, can turn into a glaring mistake. Another unforgettable moment occurred at a rally in 2017, when Trump leaned in to hug an American flag on stage. The gesture was meant to be patriotic, but what caught people's attention afterward wasn't his enthusiasm. It was the streak of orange makeup that had transferred onto the fabric. Photos of the flag with a faint orange smear became viral instantly, sparking endless jokes about him leaving a tan mark on the symbol of the nation. It was a light-hearted but highly visible makeup fail that perfectly illustrated the downside of going heavy with foundation. Perhaps one of the strangest aspects of Trump's makeup mishaps is the color itself. Unlike most politicians, who stick to a natural palette, Trump embraced an unmistakable orange tone. While his team has never fully explained the exact process, many have speculated that he uses a combination of bronzer, self-tanner, and heavy powder. The problem with this approach is that it rarely looks natural, especially under bright lights or in high-definition photographs. Instead of enhancing his features, the makeup often exaggerated them, creating sharp contrasts that looked unnatural and distracting. It wasn't just official events that exposed these flaws. Everyday paparazzi shots often caught Trump off guard. Walking out of Trump Tower in New York, photographers frequently snapped images that revealed uneven blending along his hairline. In some cases, the makeup didn't quite reach the edges, leaving a visible gap between his scalp and his forehead. In others, the powder clumped awkwardly, giving his skin a textured, almost chalky appearance. For someone constantly in the spotlight, these small but glaring mistakes became magnified. Even during his time as a reality TV star on The Apprentice, Trump's makeup was a frequent talking point. High-definition television was not his friend. Episodes revealed inconsistencies in his foundation, particularly around his eyes and mouth, where creases highlighted lines of product. Instead of looking polished, his face often looked layered and unnatural. Viewers at home noticed, and makeup experts critiqued how poorly it was applied compared to the sleek, subtle looks of other TV personalities. Of course, makeup mishaps didn't stop him from embracing his bold style. In fact, some would argue that these very fails became part of his public persona. The orange tan, the unblended jawline, the pale raccoon eyes, all became instantly recognizable. They were mocked, memed, and ridiculed, but they also made Trump's appearance stand out in a crowded field of politicians. His makeup may have failed by traditional beauty standards, but in its own way, it succeeded in making him unforgettable. Still, the internet has a long memory, and the archive of Trump's makeup fails is endless. From powder stains on his collars to foundation smudges left on microphones, there's no shortage of embarrassing moments. Each incident has added to the ongoing conversation about how much effort he puts into his appearance and how often that effort backfires. What makes these makeup mishaps so fascinating isn't just the humor, they also reveal a deeper truth. Trump has always projected himself as a symbol of strength, power, and control. Yet his most glaring makeup fails show the opposite. A vulnerability, a reminder that even the most powerful figures can't always control how they're seen. Under the wrong lighting, in the wrong moment, even a billionaire president can end up with streaky foundation and an unblended tan line. And maybe that's why people remain so captivated by these fails. They strip away the polished image and expose something raw and unintentional. In those moments, Trump is no longer the confident mogul or the fiery politician. He's just another person struggling with a makeup routine gone wrong. Donald Trump's makeup fails have become legendary, from the raccoon eyes to the spray tan borders and the orange-stained flag. They've been funny, embarrassing, and at times even iconic. At the end of the day, no matter how much power, money, or hairspray you've got, there's no escaping a makeup fail. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.